Hello again, Andrew, and thank you so much for joining us today for part two of our author interview for the August book of the month, A Life's Work, talking about value. So yesterday we talked about what inspired you to write it, and today I'd like to get into the meat of your research and what you have found. And in particular, I wonder if you could give us a kind of 2-minute synopsis on the whole value and then each of the six focal points. I found that I was able to understand the idea of usefulness or useful value and communal value and even individual value fairly straightforwardly. I struggled a little bit with the beautiful and the relational and the generational. So I wonder if you could help us out by talking us through them. Thank you.
Yes, interesting. Thank you. So the model is based on an iPhone. So my phone here has three lenses, and I don't know if you've ever wondered why Steve Jobs sort of banged the table and said it needs to have one. But an engineer would tell you that each lens does something completely different. So it's designed in a different way. So I've taken that sort of idea that we need to look at value from different perspectives, different lenses, because we're looking at different things, but we all call it all value. So the first lens is the telephoto, which zooms in on the products and services. So it's looking at the clients. What value are you adding to customers, users, and clients? Then the portrait lens on a camera is designed to have the face in focus and the background blurred. So the idea of the portrait lens is to look at people and the people that we work with, both in individuals and as a group. And then the wide angle lens looks at value in wider society. And so you've picked up on this thing that I've gone another level in terms of then saying each of those lenses has two perspectives, which actually work together like a yin and a yang. So the lens that looks at the value of the products and services. I look at the value in terms of utility, but also beauty. So hedonic, emotions, feelings, delight, as well as it being useful. So something can be useful, but really boring and ugly and makes me miserable. Or something can be really beautiful and fantastic and glitzy, but actually a complete waste of time. But what actually the value comes when you combine the two together, something that's beautiful. And so it is useful to your skills and your work, but it also touches your heart. And then in terms of portraits, in terms of people, it wants to say that people are individuals, that they all have value, and that we all have, I would believe, eternal value that as human beings, and that we mustn't forget that, but also that we work together. So that work isn't designed to be done alone, but there's a huge value in us working together and well-being and purpose together, teamwork, collaboration. That's all part of the value. So we work for an organization, and the word corporate is literally the Latin for body.
Yes.
So a corporate is a body of people, and we work as a body with all different functions that the body has, but no part of the body is unnecessary. So it looks at value, both individual, how am I building up each individual in my team, but also how we're working together in terms of bringing well-being and collaboration. And then the wide angle looks at impact, but says impact is actually both present focused and future focused. And again, we can play those off against each other and say it's all about future generations without remembering actually we've got to create value now for society. But also we shouldn't be just so now focused that we haven't got a long-term lens in terms of our perspective. So it's trying to say there are these six aspects, and they actually work together. You can put them in a wheel, or I've just chosen to put them in this sort of three lens idea. And a soulful enterprise will be one that is expressing all of those six. And the book, which is designed for Rowan, as we said in the last episode, so it's designed for people in the workplace, is saying that actually we can be adding value in each of those six aspects. And actually, as we look in the book, it's got full of ideas of how we can be adding value in each of those six focal points. And I think when I talk to people about the model and the concept, I can see them come alive, and they see, oh yeah, so that conversation I had with that person at work, I'm not paid to do that. It's not in my job profile necessarily, but actually I added immense value to that person. Or I'm making our products just for customers have a real delight. That's not just marketing ploy, but it's actually part of what makes us human. Is that we want to bring to light, just like we want to our children, our friends, so to our customers. So it sort of makes us more human when we see that we have potential in each of those six aspects.
It's funny. One of the examples you give in the book about the useful and beautiful is your Mac that you use, and I think most of us would acknowledge that Steve Jobs made beautiful products, but not just beautiful to look at, beautiful feel, and there's kind of a feel-good factor to that, which makes you want to use them. And I feel the same way about books. Actually, some books have a tactile, there's something nice about holding them. And which adds value.
Yeah, and I've tried in the book, I've tried to make it useful in the way it's laid out and just the way it can be used so that the experience is a pleasure. And Steve Jobs famously, I think he was quoting from the founder of Polaroid, but he talks about the intersection of arts and sciences. And he said that was he used the word magical, interestingly, a magical place. And that's the place that he wants to be. I think you're absolutely right on that. Yeah. There's a quote, interestingly, in the Bible, that right at the beginning of the Bible, it says that God looks at all that he's made, and he says it's pleasing to the eye and good for food. And it's interesting how intuitively you think that it should be the other way around. I mean, surely it's good for food and pleasing to the eye, it's a sort of add-on. But it very deliberate, and the commentators would say very deliberately, pleasing to the eye is first, because it is good. It's pleasure, and we can easily forget that sometimes.
Yes. I think that's true. Marvelous, thank you. Well, in terms of time, we've pretty much hit our slot today. I would like to invite you back to do part 3, because I'd quite like to explore the value for life that you talk about at the end of the book, and also how you think we can make use of this understanding in our daily lives, if you don't mind. But thank you very much for your time so far. And we'll schedule a part 3.
Thanks,
Andrew.
Bye.